Q and G are two of the strangest and most mysterious figures to ever step into the Street Fighter arena. One is veiled in a silent menace, the other bathed in a rhetorical fervor, both wrapped in a bow of mystery. In a series known for colorful warriors and supernatural powers, these two stand apart, not because of how much we know, but because of how much we don't. Yet something deeper connects them, something unconfirmed, and deeply unsettling. Today we're diving into a mystery that began decades ago and remains unsolved. This is a video about Q and G, the Enigma, and the Impostor? Q first appeared in Street Fighter III Third Strike, presented neither as a warrior dedicated to strength, nor some obviously embittered villain, but as a ghost in the machine. He, or it, has no origin, no clear purpose. He's simply a file marked Q in the roster. We only really know that he's a person of interest to a global surveillance agency, spotted near multiple catastrophic events around the world, but never questioned and never caught. We can't even be sure Q is a single entity. What we know is shown through his robotic behavior, his stiff, heavy movements, his grunts and growls. But sometimes, after a battle, he pauses and sighs, as if in regret, fatigue, or maybe remembering something. And sometimes he stomps on his fallen opponent's face. Q's fighting style is raw and unpolished, like something built for brutish enforcement. His heavy punches hit like piledrivers, and his signature taunt actually boosts his defense, suggesting a combat model built around intimidation and control. The few words we hear from Q are muffled, "Why?" and "I'm an abomination." In a game full of animated personalities, Q is a void with no rivalries and no explanations. Just a clumsy storm of power wrapped in a trench coat and a metal mask. His Third Strike ending is just as cryptic. Security cameras tracking him through major cities, chaos following in his wake. No answers are to be found, only more questions. Is he a machine, mimicking a man? A man lost to villainous reprogramming, or something else entirely? And in the years since, Capcom has said nothing. No confirmations, no retcons, no return. Some fans believe he's a cyborg assassin. Others call him a rogue AI, a failed experiment, or even a supernatural observer recording humanity's downfall. But one thing is clear, Q was never meant to be understood. He was meant to unsettle. A silent observer with fists like wrecking balls, and a presence like a waking nightmare. Then along came Street Fighter V's third season, and with it, a man who claimed to be more than just a fighter. A man who introduced himself with grandeur, spectacle, and a lie.
I'm president of the world, of the earth, and of the entire universe!
His name is G, and he broadcasts his battles online while shouting slogans about unity, Earth's energy, and destiny. He's the people's champion, or so he says. Charismatic, theatrical, and strangely magnetic, G is a walking paradox. He dresses like a 19th century showman, but speaks like a modern demagogue. Always smiling, always preaching, and while his words are spoken with passion and conviction, they don't really say much. And then there's the way he fights. A performance of explosive earth-powered attacks, like he's channeling the very planet through his hands. With each successful display, he levels up, becoming more dangerous the more the crowd watches. G's stage is basically a television studio in space, which hints at a man with more than just pageantry and fanfare. How he has his own space station is anyone's guess. And in the background, manning the cameras while G fights, are people seemingly wearing Q's mask, or something very much like it. Just what does it all mean? G bursts onto the scene in the most modern of ways, by launching a viral campaign on social media. Using his FooTube channel, he challenges fighters from around the world to test their strength against the self-proclaimed president of the world, and to become one. His eccentric broadcasts catch the eye of Rashid, who becomes the first to take on G's offer. Their clash ends with G's victory, and more importantly, a surge in his viewership, putting him on the radar of many other fighters. Among those intrigued are Rose and her apprentice, Manat. When Rose draws a tarot reading for G, the card she reveals is the Fool. At first glance, Manat scoffs, assuming the card reflects G's bizarre behavior and grandiose speeches. But Rose knows better. In many tarot traditions, the Fool is not a mockery, it is the beginning of a journey. It represents the protagonist, a figure on the cusp of great change, who walks unknowingly towards destiny. Rose had once drawn the same card while searching for the one who could defeat M. Bison, a vision that led her to Ryu in Super Street Fighter IV. Curious about such a new fighter, Rose sends Manat to evaluate G's true potential, but the encounter does not go as planned. G quickly overpowers her, and Manat fails in her mission to determine whether the strange man in a top hat is harmless or something much more dangerous. Following Bison's defeat at the hands of Ryu, Rose begins to sense a new force, something primal, tied not to evil, but to the natural world itself. Seeking insight, she consults Oro, the ancient hermit. He senses no imbalance, no darkness, only raw elemental power, but Rose still remains uneasy. Her search takes her back to G. When she confronts him, she doesn't find the kind of answers she was expecting, but a harrowing vision, a glimpse of total annihilation. And what's more disturbing, G has seen it too. The mystery deepens when Gil, the Emperor of the Secret Society, finally takes notice. He appears publicly for the first time on G's FooTube channel, challenging the self-proclaimed president directly. Upon arrival, he recognizes a strange energy within G, one that doesn't match any the society has recorded. He demands clarity, but G offers only riddles and cryptic half-truths. Gil takes no further action, but is left with an uneasy feeling. He sensed this power before, but where? One thing becomes clear: G is not just a showman, he's not just a man in a top hat. Beneath the spectacle lies something ancient, something cosmic, and something terrifying. And the question that lingers long after the camera cuts: is G here to save the world, or to end it? Two figures, one lurking in the shadows, the other broadcasting to the world, and yet something about them feels eerily familiar. Similar frame, similar moves. Capcom even gave G a special costume that turns him into Q, mask, trenchcoat and all. But that's just a cosmetic, right? Some fans believe G is Q, once a man with cosmic aspirations, consumed by his own delusion, his descent into madness resulting in Q, stripped of purpose and persona, from president of the world to suspected criminal watched by governments. Others have speculated that the mask Q wears was placed on G by some unknown person or organization to suppress his power, perhaps to prevent the end of the world seen in G's own visions, or perhaps to contain such power until such time that it can be unleashed. Perhaps Q is the work of Gil's secret society, the same one behind the G Project and countless brutal genetic experiments conducted by Dr. Wu and Urian. They've sought to create worthy beings through artificial means in the past. Could Q be a discarded result of their experiments, grafted from G's DNA and doomed to wander the world for some yet unknown purpose? Or maybe Q is one of many in an army commanded and led by G himself, and the mask is a means of controlling those he drafted into his ranks. Could that be what he means by becoming one? Whatever the case, one watches while the other performs, and Capcom remains silent. Whether connected by design or coincidence, G and Q are symbolic reflections of fear, deception, and the unknown in Street Fighter's world. Q is the fear of losing your identity in the face of surveillance and control. A figure who may once have been human, turned into a question no one, not even himself, can answer. G, by contrast, is loud, charismatic, and dangerously confident. He promises unity, he performs for the masses, but his speeches, filled with cosmic half-truths, can feel more like indoctrination than inspiration. He is the cult of personality, a reflection of the times. A leader who may not be leading, a mask worn by something far older, or far more dangerous. Are these characters puppets? Are they gods? Are they tools of something bigger than any one fighter? We don't know, and it's even possible that these characters aren't as sinister as they seem. Q and G challenge the idea of humanity and reality in a world of fighters built on strength, honor, and force of will. These two characters are not just enigmas in Street Fighter's universe, but mirrors of our modern concerns. Control and chaos, anonymity and celebrity, the loss of self and the performance of self. Capcom has given us the pieces, a mask, a stage, and coded names, but never the full picture. Is Q a fallen version of G, a clone, a cover-up? Or are they two separate entities, haunting Street Fighter from different corners of its mythos? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the mystery, leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more thematic lore of your favorite heroes and villains. Because some stories never stop hiding in the shadows. As always, be excellent to yourselves and one another, and I'll see you soon.